Okay, and then here in the cochlea, as I've said to you, there is a structure which is called the organ of what? Of Corti. So now this is called the organ of what? Of Corti. So now here are what? Here are the hair cells of what? Of the organ of Corti. The function of the hair cells of the organ of Corti is to convert a sound stimulus into an impulse so that the impulse can go to the brain for hearing to take place. So later on, I will refer to the organ of Corti as I will be doing hearing. Okay, and then here again we do have another opening which is called the round window. So now the function of the round window is to absorb the vibrations, or you can say the sound waves. So now the vibrations which are absorbed here at the round window are those vibrations that moved along the cochlea. They've moved from the upper canal, which is called the scala vestibuli, to the lower canal, which is called the scala tympani. When the vibrations arrived here at the round window, they are simply absorbed. So now we do say that the function of the round window is to absorb the vibrations. So now the easiest way again in which you can remember now the two openings, the oval window and the round window, is to use O. We know very well that O comes before what? Before R. So O for oval window, R for what? For round window. So now, if you can just remember that, you won't confuse the oval window and the round window. And then, okay, coming to the inner ear, I said that, okay, the inner ear is made up of the three semicircular canals. So now, what we need to know about the three semicircular canals is that they are at right angle to each other, and then inside the three semicircular canals there is a fluid. So now the name of the fluid is called the endolymph. And then at the basis of the semicircular canals, I said, okay, there are structures which are called what? The ampullae. So singular is what? It's an ampulla. So now it is inside an ampulla where we do get a receptor for maintaining balance, which is called a crista. This is how a crista looks like. It is made up of a jelly. This jelly is called the capula. And then from there it has what? The sensory hair cells. So now these are what? These are the hairs of what? Of the sensory hair cells. And then from there, underneath the cells, we do have what? We do have a nerve which is called a vestibular nerve that is going to join with a cochlear nerve to form what we called the auditory nerve. So now the whole of this structure is called what? It is called a crista. Plural, they are referred to as the cristae. And then I said, when a person goes down a little bit, there is a bigger swelling here, which is called the utriculus and what? And the circulus. So now, at the top, we do have the utriculus, and then the circulus is found where? At the bottom. I don't think I have, yes, I have a slide that shows clearly the distinction between the utriculars and the circulars. So now here I do have the semicircular canal together with its swelling, which is called the ampulla, and then below it we do have utriculars, and then below the utriculars we do have the circulars. So now the easiest way to remember these parts of the vestibular apparatus is to use US. U will stand for utriculars, and then S will stand for the circulars. So now in the utriculars and the circulars, we do get what? We do get the receptors, which are called what? The maculae. So now here I have a structure of a what? Of a macula. Can you see that a macula is made up of what? Of the otoliths. So now the otoliths are these small stones which are made up of what? Of calcium carbonate. And then from there a macula is also made, it's also made up of what? Of a jelly-like what? A jelly-like substance. And then from there are what? There are the sensory hair cells which get stimulated. Once they are stimulated, a stimulus is converted into an impulse. So now the impulse will be taken by what? By a nerve which is called the vestibular nerve that joins together with the cochlear nerve to form the auditory nerve. So now the auditory nerve will take the impulses to the brain. Which part of the brain? The cerebellum, so that the cerebellum can maintain balance. What do you need to know about the cochlea? This is what? It's a cross-section of the cochlea, but you'll never be asked about this cross-section of the cochlea in the exam. But just to have more information, you need to know that the cochlea is divided into 3 canals. The upper canal, which is called the scala vestibuli, it is filled with a fluid called perilymph. The middle canal, which is called the scala media, it is filled with a fluid which is called what? The endolymph. It is inside the middle canal called the scala media where we do get the hair cells of the organ of what? Of Corti, which play a role in converting a sound as a stimulus into an impulse. And then from there we do have the lower canal, which is called the scala tympani. So now the sound waves that get into the scala tympani, they are the ones that are absorbed here at what? At the round window. Hence we do say that the function of the round window is to absorb the pressure waves. So if we don't want to call them the pressure waves, you can say the sound waves. Okay,